What's up, Rad Family? I'm always on Imgur or Reddit, and when I'm on those two sites, I love coming across micro creepypasta or two-sentence horror stories. And if you don't know what those are, they're pretty self-explanatory, I guess. It's basically just like a bare bones version of a spooky tale. So the idea behind it is just to try to scare you with the idea of something scary. Am I explaining that right? Does that make any sense? Anyway, so today we are just going to explore the internet and try to find some creepy sentences and see, can you get scared from two sentences? So let's get to it. I can't sleep, she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. I guess it depends on how you look at it. If it's someone you loved, I guess you wouldn't think it was creepy. Nope, it was a dress she was buried in. That's creepy. That's not romantic. I begin tucking him into bed and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him. Another him. Under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's someone on my bed." That story started one way and it went somewhere completely different that my mind was not prepared for. That has to be one of the creepiest ones. Like, that just gave me goosebumps right away. One, who would you believe? And two, you would have like a split second because it's only underneath the bed. So obviously, like, whichever one's the monster is going to be made aware that you now know that one of them is a monster. That's terrifying. You get home, tired after a long day work, and ready for a relaxing night alone. You reach for the light switch, but another hand is already there. That, goosebumps. That is a pure nightmare fuel right there. I'm just trying to think like what I would do in these situations. If I touched a light switch, so it's dark. Okay, yeah, I would be screaming and running and probably crying by the time I reached my front lawn. Assuming that I made it to my front lawn. Okay, next one. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. And that, boys and girls, is the exact reason why I would like to be cremated. Yep, I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up. I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up. Is that a riddle? I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up. I feel like that's a riddle that I'm just not comprehending. But I mean, I guess that would be pretty scary. Like, can you imagine just going through, like, right now, if I'm doing this right now, but then all of a sudden I wake up and I'm somewhere else? That'd be pretty terrifying. Like, that is a very scary idea because it's losing track of time. My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't help. Ooh, that is... Okay, that's probably the scariest one we are going to read today. I know it's early, we just started this video, but I love paranormal and like ghosts, so that and the fact that it's a child, that's even sadder and scarier. So this person wins. Ooh, this one's a good one. I just looked at it real quick and I already read it. There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. Ooh, yeah, that I would not go back to that place. I would probably like literally leave all my stuff just as is and just get into my car or just walk and sleep somewhere else far away as possible. Actually, I probably wouldn't sleep. And I would probably get rid of the phone. I don't know. Just in case there's a little paranormal activity action going on, I would just rather not have anything that could possibly follow me to the next destination. Unless, I guess, if it's like a demon, because like then that doesn't matter. You're just game over. GG, you are, for lack of a better word, screwed. So, I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first, I thought it was the window until I heard it come from the mirror again. I love mirrors and I have lots of them in my house, so the idea of like a reflection not belonging to you or being delayed or something living inside those mirrors is a very real, like, nightmare inducing idea. The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing, 12:07, before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest, her other hand muffling my screams. Ooh, I sat bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream. But as I saw my alarm clock read 12:06, I heard my closet door creak open. I know this is like very childish, but I think it is a popular fear for a reason. Anything to do with closets and under the bed will just, or if you're like in the shower, or I guess a passenger seat, back seat of a car, anything of that nature is incredibly scary to me. It always has, but I think there's like a special place in my heart for, like, you know, the typical monster in the closet. And the fact that my closet is literally right there behind the camera and it's always just a little bit open makes this one even more creepy. In all the time that I've lived alone in this house, I swear to God, I've closed more doors than I've opened. That reminds me of a ghost story that I had heard. It was actually someone's personal account of a ghost story that they like experienced. And they had a very similar situation where like they would leave a room, and while they left, all the doors were like shut, like all their cupboard doors were shut and their drawers were shut, and then they would come back into that room a little bit later and everything would be open. And that gives me the heebie-jeebies like nothing else. Man, ghosts just get me. Even though I don't particularly believe in them. I don't know. I don't not believe in them, but I also don't believe in them. You know what I mean? I'm on the fence. There needs to be a little bit more proof. But regardless, I still find the idea of them terrifying. Whenever someone tells me like a personal ghost encounter, I still find it incredibly unnerving and worthy of a nightmare. Like, even though I might not be the first one to be like, oh, that's a ghost, if someone like told me they believed they had a ghost in their house, I would be uncomfortable enough to like not want to go back to that house. I say this as I have made multiple videos about possible ghostly activity, and I'm about to make another one. Maybe I'm just in denial. Ooh, this is an oldie but a goodie. She asked why I was breathing so heavily. I wasn't. You know, I keep saying it, but the thought of someone being with you and you're unaware of it is just probably like the top 5 scariest things, at least in my opinion. Just, if I'm alone and I think I'm alone, you know, I don't want other people being there. I think that's very reasonable. So that also explains why I think one of my biggest fears is being in my car and someone being in my back seat. So before I get into my car, I know I've said this in so many videos, but I can't stress it enough. Before you get into your car, just, you know, take a quick glance, peek in the back seat just to make sure no one's hiding there, because who knows, maybe someone watching this one day unfortunately will be in that situation where there actually is someone there, but because you checked first, you didn't get into the car, and so maybe you're able to avoid a very unfortunate, frightening situation. I said goodnight to my wife laying next to me. I rolled over and saw her standing in the doorway. What would you possibly do in this situation? I mean, one of them is not your wife. So one of them has some presumably ill intentions. So what would you do? I mean, okay, I think what I would do is I'm such an awful person. Oh my God. I think I would jump out of bed as fast as I could, which I'm pretty good at, by the way, because like back when I was in school, like high school, I would set my alarm, and so I would never fall asleep after my alarm went off, because I have a really bad habit of doing that. I would literally jump out of bed, The second my alarm went off, I would jump out of bed, like flat on my feet. I'm up, I'm out, and I would say that's a skill I possess. So I would apply that skill to this situation, and I would jump up on my feet so fast that no one was expecting it, and I would just haul ass. I would try to recall my track experience and just plow through the person in the doorway and be out the front door and not look back. Yeah, that makes me an awful human being, doesn't it? Only in paranormal situations, though. Like, if it was like a non-paranormal situation, then hell yeah, I will be a fighter and I will be the first person to come to your defense. But if it's a paranormal, that's a whole different world. That's a different situation, and I don't fuck with that shit. So, if you're watching this now, if we are, for whatever reason, ever in a situation like that together, you better be hauling ass with me. And that's how we will tell who is the real person. Because the real person would be hauling ass with me, and, you know, the monster wouldn't. I feel like that's very flawed logic, but I'm just gonna go with it. There's nothing like the laughter of a baby. Of course, unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone. Yep, there's nothing like it, because, you know, there's very few sounds, I think, that warrant picking up the phone and calling 911 instantly. And I feel like the sound of a baby that, you know, you don't have a baby in your house, you know, paranormal or real life, I feel like, you know, maybe you should just call 911 right away. Just right away, without a second glance. But, you know, then follow up with checking on the baby and making sure it's okay. Unless it's a little girl's laugh, because then fuck that shit, and little girls are creepy as hell, and it's definitely paranormal. Working the night shift alone. When there's a face in the cellar staring at the security camera. Security cameras, man. Going back to my video that I did a couple weeks ago. Great invention, wonderful to have. I recommend everyone have one in their house just to protect yourself and your loved ones and your possessions. But be aware, when a camera is running all the time, it can potentially pick up some creepy stuff, either explainable or unexplainable. So be prepared. What is with babies being a common theme with these 2-sentence horror stories, man? I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice, comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me. My mind would not go to paranormal for this. Not that okay, I need to get out of this mindset. I need to get out of this mindset, because not every horror story is paranormal themed. I know that. I think I've just been reading so many of them, like that's where my mind goes. But this is like a real, like, actual thing that could happen, and that's incredibly scary. Regardless if you're a parent or not, the idea of someone being around your kid, I think a very common fear. So in this situation, you need to go whoop some ass. You know what I'm saying? You need to call 911 and whoop some ass to get your baby. I was listening to my wife singing a lullaby to our daughter over the baby monitor when I saw 2 headlights out the window. Pulling into our driveway was my wife. Do you not know if your wife's home or not? Like, I feel like that's a very big concern. Like, because if your wife's not there, but your baby's actually there, what the hell, wife? Why'd you leave your baby unattended? And, or the opposite, and the wife and the baby aren't there, why would he not know that? I mean, this one seemed really scary at first, but now that I'm thinking of it logically, I feel like you should just know if someone's home or not. No? Is that common? Do you guys walk into a house and not know if someone's there or not? Do you not, like, see the car before you come in? Okay. Don't be scared of the monsters. Just look for them. Look to your left, look to your right, under your bed, behind your dresser, in your closet. But never look up. She hates to be seen. That is one terrifying idea. And right now, honestly, I do not want to look up. But I'm going to. I actually don't want to, though. I genuinely don't want to look up. Okay, nothing's there. Just a white ceiling. There's a creepy ass doll behind me, though. Can't forget that. I never forget that because my viewfinder shows me all the time. A little box will focus on her little fucking face. God, I hate this doll so much. I always did love your face and everything about it. That's why I'm wearing it now. I feel like this is a very appropriate way to read the story with a very creepy smile on my face. That was a skip. Dude, like I can't. Today, I don't know why I'm on edge, but literally everything is scaring me right now. As the pillow says right here, if you're new to this Radtastic community, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification, and all that jazz. So until next time, keep up the radness, and I'll see you real soon. Bye! The hairs in the back of my neck are actually standing up.